Hey, what's up? So I'm actually in Vegas this weekend, so I'm recording from my laptop and my hotel room. But in the last video I made, I talked a little bit about my friend and how he was super generous, and I thought it'd be interesting to kind of do a deep dive on his entire personality because I feel like he is an exceptional person, and he's been my friend for about 25 years. And as we get older, I actually find myself trying to be more and more like him. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of dive deep into how he acts and why I think that leads to him living a pretty successful life. Have a disclaimer for this video, which is no homo. So everything I just said there, no homo. All right. So over the years, I've consumed a decent amount of self-help content, and there's two pieces of self-help content that I thought were really useful. And both of them actually reminded me of my friend because he's actually doing exactly what these things suggest. The first one was a book called Happiness Advantage, and the second one is this program called Mind Powers by John Kehoe, which I talked about previously. And in the Happiness Advantage, I haven't read it in years, but what I remember is the key takeaway was that successful people are not happy because they're successful. Successful people are successful because they are happy, right? Meaning that happiness causes success. And I think my friend is very happy naturally, and that's what leads him to a lot of success, including financial success. And the second one was Mind Powers by John Kehoe. And what I taken away from that program is your thoughts are probably the most important thing in your life. And whatever you believe about yourself is going to become true. And you can actually change yourself by changing your thoughts through practice. And I talked about this in other videos. If you'd like to do this program, I'll share it with you for free. I'm not selling anything. It's something that you can do. I've been doing it for like 10 weeks. And my friend has incredible mind powers. He just believes in himself a lot. And I feel like that's kind of why he is partly why he's so successful. So let's break down the traits that I think are most important that, I think that we can all learn from. I talked about this one. He's crazy generous. One caveat I want to add is I think he's generous with no expectations. So one of the comments I read earlier, they're like, "Oh, I'm worried about getting taken advantage of." Like, yeah, he's generous, and he doesn't have an expectation, so he's not expecting anything in return. So he's not getting bitter when people, don't reciprocate, for example, right? And that takes out a lot of like, kind of just thoughts in your head that you don't really need to have. And I think most people actually do reciprocate, and I actually think it brings the best out of people. And he's able to develop relationships a lot faster and a lot deeper because of this quality, I believe. The second thing I think is super important, probably the most important thing, is his default is always best case scenario. And I've tested this a lot. So I would just tell him something, and he would just go, "Oh, best case, it would be best case scenario." So I'd be like, "Oh, I lost my job," and if he say basically best, "Hey, at least you get a break now, right?" Something like that. And it's just like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well, my body hurts." He's like, "Oh, at least blah blah blah." He'll always go to best case scenario, and this leads to just looking for opportunities and not really looking at the bad stuff, right? And then if you always focus on the bad, you feel really stressed and you're always worried about something that might happen in the future. And that just causes a lot of, devastation and, hurts your body physically and mentally. And I just think part of the happiness advantage where happy people are successful is because they're always looking for opportunities. So if you're always looking at the bright side, you'll always see opportunities when they come along. Um, he treats everyone super well, and this is a given. But I think what for him, he's super likable. I mean, I'm likable too, but it's not like he has a different thing where it's like he's like he's nice to everyone in a way where, like, for example, for me, if I didn't like, not everyone's likable, right? Like not everyone you don't like you're not gonna like everyone. So even people that are unlikable, like if I was hanging with someone I didn't like him, like that guy would know I didn't like him because I'm just like super straightforward, right? Whereas my friend, he's more like easygoing, so like he's not very petty when it comes to people that are unlikable. And I think the benefit to this that I've seen is he's able to navigate work politics really well because no one dislikes him, right? So all the politicking at work, he's able to navigate it really well and get promoted really quickly because he's able to get the support of higher ups and peers, right? Um, yeah, like dude, even in high school, there's one time where we snuck off campus and we're like doing bad stuff on campus, and the cop caught like the school cop caught us, and then she drives us back to school, and there's like 5 of us, and then she drives us to like the office, and the secretary writes us all Saturday school. And then he goes and he starts laughing with the secretary, and like for some reason, like she writes 4 of us Saturday school, and he didn't get it because he was just like hella joking around or whatever. So he's just very likable. And I think the most important, or I don't know, I said they're all important, but one of the important ones as well, he has incredible belief in himself. And I think that's kind of where the mind powers comes from, where he just believes in himself at the level. I don't know if you guys seen Naruto, but Naruto super believes in himself. And I want to say, like, no offense, but his belief in himself to me, like, doesn't even make sense. Like, he has all this confidence where I'm just like, yo, like, I don't know. I'm happy for him, but I'm like, yo, I don't know where this is coming from. And it helps a lot because if you believe in yourself, then that's pretty much all you need to be successful. And even when we're competing when we're younger, where we're like, doing anything physical, like just the fact that he never gives up, like, just makes me when we're competing, I'm just like, oh man, like makes you like just give up because his belief is like overwhelming. So yeah, those are some things that I think is interesting to think about. And I think we can try to copy and try to be more like. Um, if you haven't seen my video about mind powers before, you check it out. I highly recommend it. Oh, hope this helps. See you in the next video.